If it is something that continues to reoccur, it happens a lot, that is not a mistake. Nothing in your life is. You knew every fucking cough before you came in. So if you ever say to yourself, this always happens to me, or oh my God, you need to stop and ask the universe, okay, this keeps happening. What is it that you're trying to show me? What do I need to learn? And I give the advice easily, but sometimes I forget to take that myself, right? Because when you're in it and you're in the emotional turmoil, whatever, it's hard to pull yourself out and think about it from the outside looking in, right? If somebody came and asked my advice, I would easily be like, boom, this is what you do. You know what I mean? But when you're the one in it and your emotions, it's much harder. So this is my reminder to you. If you cannot change something, if you did not cause it and you can't control it, don't give it one fucking cent of your time, okay? The 3 C's. If you didn't cause it, you can't change it, you didn't control it, don't give it 1 cent. Hello, everyone. Janna here. Thank you for tuning in to Revive with Janna. I hope that you're having a really great day and a great week. If not, don't be hard on yourself. It happens. You know, sometimes we just go through really shitty times in life. Sometimes we wake up with the best intentions and we're in a great mood and boom, something goes shitty. And when that happens, it's really, really easy to say, oh, it's going to be one of those days. The thing is that when you say that, it's going to be one of those days, you just decided that. And we must learn how to control our thoughts, our actions, what we allow to bother us. You know, I've been really working hard on that just because I'm a mindset expert and wrote a #1 bestseller on it doesn't mean that I'm perfect or I've done all the healing, because healing never ends. Healing is constant. And if you think that I'm healed, I don't have anything else to do, then you just kind of stopped and you didn't finish, because you don't finish, right? Wherever you are in your healing, when you pass away, that's what's left in your suitcase, so to speak, for when you go into your next life. Believe in reincarnation or not, whatever. It's legit. Now, let's go back to having control over our actions, what we allow to bother us, how we react, all of that, right? I used to be super reactive, and I think that that's normal, especially for women, especially if it's that time of the month. But what I have learned, in fact, I was just telling my husband this the other day. I love that he likes to listen to my thoughts and hear, the stuff that I write, that I share with y'all, or I'm going to share with y'all in my next book. But I was telling him this the other day because, I'm a mom of 3 kids. My 2 oldest are teenagers, 16, 14, and 9. And if you have a teenager or you had a teenager, then you understand the mood swings, the just, oh my gosh, the just back and forth, the ups and downs, that I'm happy, I'm pissed, and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, my oldest was being, being a little difficult this past week. And I'm really hard on myself, especially because I know how hard I try for them. I know how much I sacrifice and have, what I've gone through. And I just know how understanding and patient and flexible I am with my kids. In a sense, I never thought I could ever embody that as a mom, right? I was raised in a super strict household. And I always knew I wanted to not raise my kids that way. And my parents did the best that they could, based upon where they were in life at the time. But everyone here in life is here to teach you. It's just that sometimes people are here to teach you how not to be, what not to say, what not to do. And others are here to show you the way on, hey, this is how you do it. And my point in saying that is that I remember the things that really hurt me that my parents probably didn't even realize that they did growing up. My mom and I are very close now. She's one of my best friends, and I've talked to her about all of these things. And of course, if you read my book, Unfuck Your Mind, um, then you know what I'm talking about. And I think it's important as an adult, if you do have a good relationship or with your parents or one of them, to be able to talk to them about those things. Um, my mom's not the same person she used to be. And that's how it needs to be. You should be able to look back on yourself. If you're just looking back and everything's still the same, you need to do some work. I want to be able to look back and be like, whoa, I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago, 4 years ago. And I'm not, but in a good way. So going back to the parent raising kids things, I always knew, like, I remembered how things felt. Okay, I'm a very sensitive person. And by the way, let's just rip that negative label off of the word sensitive. Sensitive, I think, has become excuse my language, a pussy term, right? Like, you're just a big pussy. And oh my gosh, my ex husband, he literally would say that you're so sensitive, and I've just began to hate the word. But after the divorce and going through the healing and doing a lot of fucking work, I had to go back and think about those things, because anyone who has been through or is a narcissistic abusive relationship, it is a mind fuck in itself. And you are constantly, once you're out of it and you choose to do the work, it doesn't just happen because you're not in that relationship anymore or in that friendship. It's that you're out of it and you're like, okay, I need to do some healing. I need to find myself again, and I need to learn how to deal with the narcissist, right? So that was me. And I was determined that every word that he put a negative context on that shouldn't have had one, I was going to flip that script in my head. So sensitive was one of them. And it used to bother me about myself. Like, why am I so fucking sensitive? Like, it just looked, when you look at somebody, right? Whether you know them or not, you're just like, they don't look like that would bother them, or they're acting like that wouldn't bother them. But honestly, we don't fucking know. Unless you got a magic crystal fucking ball and you can read minds, we don't know. And I had to really do a lot of inner work. And I realized, and the props to my Aunt Jill, and my Aunt Nisi, love them to death. And they have given me so much wisdom. And I'm so very grateful for them in my life. And, they told me that you're sensitive, but that's not negative. In other words, you're sensitive that way because you have a very strong sixth sense. You're empathetic. You're very in tune with yourself. And so I always remember how things felt. And I never wanted my kids to feel a certain way. I remember my parents telling me no, and I wrote about this in the book, to whatever. It could have been anything, like, hey, can I go to this social gathering, friends are having? Parents are going to be there. And nope. I'm like, I literally didn't finish my sentence. Don't you want to know the details? Nope. Nope. That's how things happen. That's all I would get in response. It would drive me insane. And because I'm super analytical and a little OCD, I always want to know the why. I mean, it's like I have a shovel and I want to know, I want to go all the way to the fucking root. So why? And that's what makes me good at what I do. That's why I'm a damn good nutritionist. That's why I wrote a #1 bestseller. That's why I cracked the fucking code on narcissism and shattering your limiting beliefs and unfucking your mind. Those are the reasons. But as a kid, that was very annoying to my parents because they didn't understand that. They thought I was being a smartass. Like, oh, why? Why? And I wasn't questioning them. I just wanted to understand, right? It's like my brain, I envision like a little filing cabinet in there, and it just, everything has to fit and it has to be in order. It has to have a place. And when it's not, oh, I feel like my fucking brain's going to explode. But anywho, I'm really kind of going off topic today. In fact, I didn't even tell you the topic because there's just a few things I really wanted to talk about. And anyways, today I'm just talking about having control of your mind and your actions and your thoughts. And so I wanted to kind of give you a glimpse into the reasons why I know as a mom, I do a damn good job. And the fact that I'm very sensitive to when my kids are like, I don't know, kind of being cold towards me, which my littlest one, thank God, he doesn't do that yet. But when my two oldest became teenagers, some days I'm like, who the fuck is that? Like, do you know who you're talking to? And I do think that teenagers these days smart off way more. If I would have acted like that to my parents, they would have knocked my ass into the next planet. And maybe that's the problem, right? But anywho, um, I got really, really upset with my oldest because he was being very disrespectful and it was really hurtful. And, him and I've been through a lot and he's my oldest. So he's seen more, heard more. He's been through more of it with me. And I'm like like, I'm like always right there in his corner and always have his back. And so I was pretty pissed off and I was having a really good day. And then that happened. And I was like, you know what? Every time I'm having a good creative flow and I'm fixing to do some really good stuff with work and helping people, something fucking comes and it takes my energy. I get emotional, and when I'm pissed and emotional, I can't be fucking creative. I can run 10 miles, right? I can get a good workout. I can play my violin, but when I record a podcast, make content, right? Fuck no. I have to be in a very specific headspace. I like to be alone in my house. I don't want any motherfuckers here. And I want to know if I make a sound, it's my dog or it's me. And that's it. So a few hours later, my husband and I were talking and he was at our other home doing some work stuff there. And I just kind of gave him a little quick rundown and he got irritated, but not with me, with our son, his stepson. And I said, honey, I appreciate your love and support because I knew he was coming from a good place. He didn't realize that his negative connotation with that, it just makes me feel worse, you know? And he can have sometimes a little bit of a defense mechanism and he thinks maybe I am like, just don't want to hear it. But it's just like, it's already a lot. And I know that he has my back. I just said, maybe we could say that differently because your emotions, it's like you're more mad than I am right now. I've kind of calmed down and now you're upset. And so it's getting me flared back up again. And I realized maybe I should tell him what I'm working on. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So what I'm currently working on is controlling what I allow to take my energy, what I allow to be a negative input or effect into my day, into my time, into that hour. And I got to tell you, which I'm not going to share anything if it's not tried and true. I got to tell you, I'm in. I I have flipped the lens on that. The light switch been turned, and I am 100% understanding of that concept. And Kabbalah teaches it, right? And Kabbalah is not a religion. It teaches you spirituality and energy and how it works. It's really just a science thing in the breakdown of it, right? Kind of what religion really used to be, and then it just got political and shit. But anywho, that's a way different subject. But everything's energy, and I feed off of energy, and we all do, whether you believe it or not. It is true, right? It's just like, when do you want to get on board with that, right? But anyway, I said, honey, I said, I appreciate you. I know you got my back, and I know because you hear my cries, my prayers, my gripes, and you see what I've dealt with, what I've gone through, what I've given, what I've sacrificed. So I know that you're just being defensive of me, right? You're defending your wife, and I appreciate that. But when you get upset, when I'm upset about something, and I'm trying to share that with you, and you get upset too, it honestly it tacks on too much energy for me that's heavy, and I can't handle that. And he listened to me. And I think it was because I said it and not like, oh my gosh. Anytime you begin a sentence with, oh my God, that it's just not going to be good. Whatever you're going to fucking say, shut up. Don't fucking say it. Oh my God. Like, don't roll your eyes. Don't act fucking exasperated. Don't do that shit. I don't care if you're a teenager, husband, wife. I don't give a fuck. It is rude as shit. And let me tell you something, if you can't tell, because I get my little southern drawl coming in with my cuss words when I get irritated, nothing good comes of that. Like if you're spending time with that person, obviously you love them and or just give a shit. So why be a dick? You know? You know what I mean? Oh, here we go again. I'm just like, fuck that. Someone says that to me, mm-mm. You know, my poor husband, he doesn't mean it in a negative way, but he doesn't realize I'm like, oh, yeah, no, that won't work. You know, if you act irritated with me, I'm not going to fucking talk to you. I'm not going to open up and tell you my goddamn worry of the day if anyone's acting like, oh, here we go again. Oh, you shouldn't let that bother you. Motherfucker, it did. Okay? It did bother me. And I'm not talking about my husband. I'm just meaning in general. That's something my ex-husband used to say to me all the time. Oh, everything bothers you. And so, anyway, let me go back to what I'm working on. I realized that I had given an hour of my energy to something I couldn't change. It hurt, you know, that's my son. I didn't understand it and I wanted to desperately, which is why I explained to y'all my need for understanding things. But it's happened so much off and on in the last year, you know, just going through, you know, changes in high school stuff and girlfriend, whatever, you know, things at school, you know, going through just shit that kids go through when their parents divorce, you know, just a lot of stuff. And then you're a teenager on top of it with the fucking hormones. And I was like, this has been happening so much lately. I'm fucking tired of it. And this is me talking to myself, by the way, that day. And I realized, I'm not doing it anymore. Every fucking time I'm fixing to be productive, get shit done, fucking things are flowing and going, something just takes a fucking shit on it. And that sucks. And it's really hard to not get fucking irritated, get your panties in the wad, however you want to say it. It's hard, especially when it happens a lot. But guys, I'm going to teach this as much as I can. If it is something that continues to reoccur, it happens a lot, that is not a mistake. Nothing in your life is. You knew every fucking cough before you came in. So if you ever say to yourself, this always happens to me, or oh my God, you need to stop and ask the universe, okay, this keeps happening. What is it that you're trying to show me? What do I need to learn? And that was the lesson for me. And it's been happening so much lately. I finally was like, fuck. And I give the advice easily, but sometimes I forget to take that myself, right? Because when you're in it and you're in the emotional turmoil, whatever, it's hard to pull yourself out and think about it from the outside looking in, right? If somebody came and asked my advice, I would easily be like, boom, this is what you do. You know what I mean? But when you're the one in it and your emotions, it's much harder. So this is my reminder to you. If you cannot change something, if you did not cause it and you can't control it, don't give it one fucking cent of your time. Okay? The 3 C's. If you didn't cause it, you can't change it, you didn't control it, don't give it 1 cent. And it's hard as a mom. So let me go back to the phone conversation with my husband. I said, you know, honey, I want to share this with you. I've actually been working really, really hard at not allowing things to bother me that rob me of my energy. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to cry if I continue to think about it. I'm going to get pissed. I'm going to cry again. I'm going to get pissed again. I'm going to get upset. Then I'm going to want to talk to him late, not sleep real good tonight. Bah, 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 bah. I'm just like, I've been down that motherfucking road. I know that destination and I'm not going there, buddy. And so I didn't. I told myself, you know what? This does bother me and it sucks. But you know what? I got my own life to live too. And I can't make my kids, you know, see things a certain way. And I can't control their life. I am here to be their teacher and their mother to the best of my ability. But you know what? I wasn't a perfect teenager and I am not supposed to walk the road that my son is supposed to walk. That is for him to do. I'm here to give you some guidance if you would like it. And I told my husband that, and he was like, you're right. And it was hard for him because this is me going through this growth pattern, right? Not him, but I was able to tell him and he listened. And I think that will now help him with things, right? Because it's really frustrating when something just happens and it's whether it's business stuff or someone close to you and it's shitty and you're like, I didn't deserve that. And I've given that person a lot. And so I want you to today, I really want you to tell yourself, do I really want to continue to be mad at this? What is going to happen? So do the little scenario in your head. What's going to happen if you get mad? What's it going to change? Nothing. But I will tell you what it will do. It's going to take your fucking energy away. It is an emotional vampire, right? An emotional vampire, and you're drinking the motherfucking blood. Get your power back. Get your energy back. Your energy is sacred. All right? It's not a fucking buffet. You're a fine dining restaurant with limited seating. Remember that. So the next time you get hurt, pissed off, fucked over, I don't give a shit what it is. Just be like, you know what? That really sucks. Feel it. I felt what I felt with my son for like an hour. And then I was like, whoa, I am done with this. And I harnessed that into just like focusing on what's going to be fruitful for me that day. Let me get back on track to where I was because I was in a good headspace before that. And you know what? You know what, Satan? You're not going to rob me of that today because that's what it is. When you're trying to do something really, really good in life and you're fixing to help someone and you're being productive and you're making a fucking difference, don't be alarmed when that negative energy comes to throw you off because they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to make a fucking positive impact. And damn, does it not happen to me all the time? And damn, if I didn't fucking fix that shit, right? Pass that test, on to the next level, please. All right. Love you all. Thank you all for your support. Share this with anyone you think might like it. Download, subscribe, like all of it. I will see you soon.